Christmas and ho ho ho. And is it working? Here we go. Yep, it's working. Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm John Miglosh for the WDMA. You've heard of us before, and you can hear from us today. What's wrong with me? I don't know. Anyway, I must be in the Christmas spirit. So we're going to start with a National Lottery Christmas love story. It's 3.5 minutes, so I'm going to chop it up, which is as I'm want to do. Anyway, so this couple meets on a train, and he's got a really weird ringtone, and let's see if that goes on. He's kind of looking over to her, thinking he should talk to her. It's the Minions.
Didn't realize it was 2005.
Well, it definitely isn't, and I definitely did not set that as my ringtone.
Did you pay for that?
I think I'm paying for it right now.
Okay, so anyway, they have this cute conversation, and then all of a sudden they're about ready to kiss, and she's got to miss her stop. And now
It was lovely to meet you.
You too.
she should have stayed on the train. It would have made more sense. But anyway, that would have.
778.
Now he tries to give her the phone number, and he ends up writing it on his lottery ticket because it's a lottery commercial.
07.
Now he's writing it backwards. He's got to think backwards. So he's writing it on his lotto ticket.
Oh,
No. It's going. Do something.
window.
Yes.
So sorry, but this is a Christmas emergency.
Little tension. So he gives her the lottery ticket, and then it falls in the puddle, of course, and then she can't read the numbers. So then she goes to her parents, say hi to the parents, and then she's trying to call every number in the book, every number of the last. It's only 1,000 numbers.
I haven't got your pizza.
And she's calling all these numbers. Then she realizes he's coming back on New Year's
Expecting you to say that.
Eve for a party, and so she takes the train. And also, it was a lottery ticket, remember? So then finally she's watching everybody go by on Christmas Eve, and she hears the goofy ringtone again. There it goes.
Frog guy. Frog guy.
I don't know what she's calling him. But she found him. Good for her. He should have done that too. He knows where she got off. He could have gone to every house in the city. I don't know where she got off. So they kiss. Oh, and by the way, you won the lottery. The big winner. Just imagine. Okay, so anyway, I don't know. It made me cry. If you watch the long form, I think it will. Well, I don't ever put the links to this, but just look up Christmas love story. Just imagine the National Lottery. So anyway, we got started a little late today, so that's what you get. But part of the reason we started late was because I was working on this excellent, good article called "How Direct Mail Can Enhance Your Digital Efforts" by John Hall. And all good stuff in here. And he starts with, talking about integrating direct mail along with digital campaigns can pay significant dividends. And he first cites this article, "People Still Interact with Mail on a Daily Basis." And I'll put that in the show notes. They're available every day after the show. Whoa, I didn't get my coffee. Gotta quick get that. And that one's by Mike Gunderson. And Mike is especially good. Mike is the guy you want to talk to, or talk to me. If you're thinking about mail and you say, we're kind of plateauing in digital. It was inexpensive when we started, and we were all .com digital conversion and all that stuff, but now it's gone flat. And mail is a way that you can boost that engagement, and I think it's much more scalable. And there's a really key reason that John doesn't really mention, and that is that in digital, most of the time, you're specifying a list, right? You're specifying a list. Like, let's say you go to Facebook and you say, well, I want everybody 35 to 55, high income, high education men. Let's just say. Do you know who sees that ad? No. You know who responds to the ad if they come to your site and buy something. But you don't really know who saw it. You don't know how many people. You don't know with any specificity who saw it. You know, unless you're taking a list and uploading it, which Facebook will do. Most people don't know this. Is if you start with the mailing address, you can go into digital with absolute matchup. But if you start from digital, you don't have much idea what's going on. Digital is sort of a halfway house between mass media, where the broadcast gets broadcast, and you don't know who's watching the TV, or you don't know if they're paying any attention, right? And so it's more like broadcast than it is like direct mail. What's interesting about John's article is that he almost acts as if direct mail, he talks about how direct mail can be like digital. But the truth is, direct mail pioneered all this stuff, right? We're the ones who came up with it. And digital just is a sort of a sad shadow of what you can do in mail. So what I would encourage John to think about, and I reached out to him this morning, is the way that digital gets enhanced by direct mail is by using direct mail as a foundational piece. Now, you don't have to do as much. It's not like you have to do every person you think you should contact through mail. No, it doesn't make sense. In fact, probably it's your past customers would be the best place to start, right? Or if you have a lead system that you've been generating, and even all those aren't necessarily the best place to start. Even with catalog companies who have the mailing piece all done, we found that the Amazon seasonal buyers were not worth mailing, not at least right away, maybe a year later in the same season, but certainly not first quarter if there were a holiday buyer. And that was a big breakthrough. That was a lot of money saved. In direct mail, we don't want to waste money either. So the most effective marketing campaigns target the same audience across both digital and traditional channels. Like I said, if you're thinking digital first, I think you're missing the biggest opportunity. I have a big case study on it. On YouTube, if you look for some of my longer form stuff, if you search greater than 20 minutes, I think you'll find it pretty fast. Or give me a call and we'll talk about the case study. But I have a case study where an almost all digital retailer doubled their sales in 3 years. Went from 50 to 100 million in 3 years without opening any more stores. Really, really dramatic. And a lot of that was because of their use of mail. And then what we found out in mail, we then leveraged and poured gas on what we knew. So direct mail is the foremost traditional channel that can provide the same precise audience targeting as digital. Actually, it's quite a bit better. It's way better. And the reason it's better is because not only do we know who responded, but we know who engaged and didn't respond. You say, how can you know that? Do they call you up and tell you? No. But the way it works is this. You rent a mailing list and you put your mailing piece together and you send it out. And you can know from the Postal Service when that piece gets delivered. But even if you don't bother with that, you know you have the exact name and address of the people you mailed. And so you know that it gets delivered because the Postal Service is generally delivering the mail. They're very good at it. And you know that it not only does it get delivered, and this is really an important piece, but you know that it goes to a decision maker. You know that it's not just going to the kids who picked up the mail on the way home because their teacher was going to write them write a disappointing note home or something. I don't know if teachers do that anymore, but right around Christmas one year, I was told that I was going to get a disappointing grade, and I went to get the mail every day to make sure I headed off that letter. And I did end up getting an A in the course. But no sense getting my parents upset needlessly right before Christmas. So, if your children are going to get the mail, they're probably up to something, I have to say. But in general, we didn't allow our kids to go get the mail. But even if they did, it got put on the kitchen counter and my wife made the decisions. And that's another point. So there's several points in here that are rarely unpacked. And I would encourage John to maybe do a follow-up on this. And that is that not only does the mail get delivered, and not only does the mail get delivered to a decision maker just because of the process. You're not going to let your kids go through the mail and throw this stuff out. A decision maker has to do that process. So there's a level of engagement that's already way above digital because it's physical. Your brain has 10 times more synapses for touch than it does for vision, believe it or not. We maneuver through the world with vision, but touch gets right into our brain. And so not only is there an engagement level that's considerably higher because of touch, 10 times higher, but also you have to make a decision with mail. Every piece of mail is a decision. Are you going to throw it away or are you going to look at it? Are you going to set it aside or are you going to make a purchase? Right? All of that's baked into mail. It isn't baked into digital. Digital throws itself away if you let it. If you just ignore it, it goes away. It's like the billboard you just passed on the freeway. You didn't give it a thought, you didn't notice it, and you don't have to think about it ever again, right? If it didn't get your attention, it didn't get your attention. It's gone again. Not mail. Mail piles up. One of my daughters, she just said she couldn't deal with mail in the lockdowns, and so she just let it pile up for a couple of months. But it gets to be a very big pile, even if you're, a millennial who doesn't get much mail. And finally, she decided she had to go through it. And that's it. You have to go through it. So it is dramatically different than digital. And that's what you need to realize. You need to start from that point. So if you use mail as a foundation, both for learning as a laboratory and also as a way to boost engagement to key segments of your audience. Both of those are a beautiful place to start. But also direct mail, if you're mailing a significant amount, is a foundation for machine learning, which you may not realize. When Jeopardy wanted to teach Watson how to play, they had 127,000, which is a good number actually, 127,000 previous Jeopardy questions, or answers really, so that they could test Watson. They would build an algorithm that was probably like look for the nouns, look for the negations, that sort of thing. And they would then let it loose and see how many it got right, because they knew the rights and the wrongs. You need both is this a fire hydrant and is this not a fire hydrant? You need to know what a picture that doesn't have a fire hydrant looks like, right? If you've ever done those captchas. That's what they're up to there. They're trying to teach cars to drive. They don't care anything about whether you know what a fire hydrant looks like or not. They care about building a data set of this picture has a fire hydrant, this picture doesn't have a fire hydrant. It's called the null set. You need the null set to do effective machine learning, which is why most machine learning projects fail, especially in marketing, because they don't have a null set. Direct mail guarantees a null set. Think about that, John. Okay, so excellent article. I encourage you to go to WDMA.org, download it. He talks about Jim Fitzgerald of Teradel, who can do this integration, but there's a lot of companies that can do it. I work with Market Builder in Phoenix and Gunderson, which you've already mentioned. They are actually we're having conversations together because I'm a big fan of Mike. But there's other companies, and in fact, your printer may already have this capability if you have a printer that you really love. If you don't, again, give us a call. This company here, this green mug, they work with printers to build this kind of integration in. I don't think I don't think most people understand the power of it, as I just explained to you. But there's a lot of people out there who can do it. But Jim Fitzgerald says, there's all kinds of ways to track. You can track direct mail with the same precision as digital campaigns. And see again, way more precision. This stuff was invented by the mailers, right? This was invented by the mailers decades and decades ago. It's proven technology. And digital has given us a couple of new tools. But we gave it all to digital. It didn't work the other way around, okay? How do you plan a direct mail strategy? Well, of course, get with somebody that knows what's going on, okay? Because the data that you can use to build an audience in mail is far richer and deeper because we can use machine learning, and we can show you what the machine learning is doing, right? And so ideally it should be the same audience you're targeting with your digital channels, but actually it's very, very difficult to target your digital audience, especially in lead generation, in customer acquisition. Most of the time you're just trusting somebody when you give them a select. It's like buying mass media. We want everybody 35 to 55, high income, high education male. Who are you getting? Well, we don't know. We only know the ones that responded, and they may not be in that target. They may be a next door neighbor or something. So anyway, have a great day. Merry Christmas. Oh, I also put up, I will also upload Mike Gunderson's excellent article that's all about how to get going in mail. It has unique targeting capabilities, he says. I talked about this article earlier at the end of summer, so I'll try and find that one. That's the marked up version, and upload that. But in any case, I'll have one or the other over on WDMA. You just have to subscribe. It's in the members only. That's free. Have a great day.